Hi guys, how you doing? Good evening. I just wanted to make a really quick video just to give my own personal opinion really on would I retire in the Philippines? This is a question I really get asked on almost a daily basis from many Brits who are thinking about retiring back home. Would I do it? Really depends on the circumstances. Obviously, when you retire in the UK, you're entitled to a state pension. Now, thankfully, that state pension, you can port that over to wherever you are in the world once you've reached that retirement age. I think the issue is that people are retiring, having to retire later and later. Obviously, by the time somebody maybe in their 30s gets to retirement age, they wouldn't be able to retire until at least their 70, if not more, maybe 75. So you have to wonder maybe how long you would have left in the Philippines anyway if you were considering retiring there. Obviously, if you have a private pension, obviously you can retire a lot earlier on that pension. Can you live on that pension in the Philippines? Probably. You could live an okay life. Clearly, you could rent an apartment, you can pay all your food, pay all your bills. But really, where I guess you would come unstuck is if you needed any medical treatment. So basically, there isn't a national health service in the Philippines. And the thing that gets me is, you could be a Brit or you could be living in the UK. You could have paid even a Filipino who maybe has either got British citizenship or has lived in the UK for many, many years. They could have been paying into our tax system. They could have been paying national insurance contributions. And yet when they actually retire and go back home to the Philippines, they lose all of that benefit, if you like. So they're no longer entitled to NHS treatment if they leave the UK for more than 2 years. So basically, the National Health Service and having that National Health Service is a really big consideration as to why I would stay probably in the UK. Unless, of course, you're in the position maybe where you own a house, maybe you've paid off your mortgage, then obviously, then yes, you can live in the Philippines because you would have sufficient money behind you. I would suggest maybe setting up a business in the Philippines, maybe a sari-sari store or maybe an internet cafe or whatsoever. Maybe something that's going to give you that livelihood and income. What I would probably also suggest is that you find some kind of work or some kind of hobby, because of course we all know that when you stop working, your body almost goes downhill. So if you are somebody who's thinking about retiring in the Philippines, I would suggest that you probably would want to have some kind of active life when you were out there. Coming from not a medical background, but working for an ambulance service and doing the kind of job that I've done over the years, I've always understood about the medical care that we have over here. And, in the Philippines, I guess due to the poverty or due to the how things are in the country, there just isn't the same number of, say, intensive care beds or critical care beds that there are in the UK. And if they are, they're of course really expensive as well. So it means that as if you need access to say intensive care, you're gonna have to pay for it, and you're gonna have to pay quite a lot of money. So that's another reason that might probably put me off, unless I was fit and healthy. That might stop me from retiring back home. So would I retire back home in the Philippines? Maybe if I had sufficient money behind me, if I was fit and healthy, I possibly might. But the thing that would make me really consider not retiring back home is, of course, not having a national health service or having to pay for medical treatment, because it makes me quite upset that obviously I've spent all my life working in the UK, you pay your national insurance, you pay for all of these things towards your NHS, and then of course when you go to the Philippines you can't bring any of that with you, or you can't port over the contributions that you've made. And of course, once you've left the UK for 2 years, you have no entitlement to free NHS treatment, other than, of course, emergency treatment. Of course, there are insurance policies, there are health insurance policies and travel insurance policies for long-term visits. So I think it's a case-by-case decision. Right now, at my age, I'd probably say that I wouldn't retire back home in the Philippines. But maybe when I got to 65, maybe when I get to 70, I might change my mind. I've heard Brits who are in their late 60s have said, look, if I retire back home in the Philippines, even if I get 4 or 5 years of a happy life, a comfortable life, and then I pass away, at least I've had that time. At least I've had that time where I've been happy, they're eating good food, they're having a comfortable life. So it's really a decision that should be made on a case-by-case basis. Right now, I'm just approaching my 50th birthday, and me personally, as much as I love the Philippines very much, I love the people, I love the weather, I love the climate, would I retire back home? Probably not. When I get maybe to 65, maybe to 70, I might make a different decision. It's really, really hard to say. Anyway, if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments box. You're welcome to make any comments, ask any questions. Thank you very much for watching. Maraming salamat po. And of course, mabuhay Pilipinas, and mabuhay to all of you.